that allows Sergey to play his favorite Queen's Indian with an extra tempo, which is not a bad outcome.
Yeah, so Wesley tries to play it safe, play it solid.
E3, yeah, okay, so as I said, yeah.
White is keeping
Queen's
all
Indian,
of the options open. Yeah, so knight
C4,
c6.
knight to c6, c takes, e takes, and then what? D4
Bishop b5
or bishop b5 first?
Yeah, I would imagine something like bishop b5, trying to make it as much complex as possible. Yeah, it is on the board, but it's relatively not so dangerous for black, and Wesley plays it quite quickly. Much to Sergey Koryakin's displeasure, and yeah, what to do here? I mean, usually the idea is that white tries to go for isolated pawn structure, at some moment to play d4, c takes on d4 and knight takes on d4, and then somehow try to exploit that isolated pawn. But
yeah, but once again, even though it's a blitz game, the position matters, right? So, well, at some point you might think, will it be enough? Will it be enough? I'll get a minimal advantage. Yeah, it's good when the score in the match is level, so that I'm pressing with white but have draw as the backup. But here, yeah, perhaps that's the moment to go for something crazy. Rook e8, d4, c takes, knight takes. So the pin on c6 doesn't allow black to swap the knights on d4 immediately, but bishop d7 seems to be a perfectly fine move to play.
yeah, so right now Wesley is also thinking about his possibilities. Perhaps I can build up a battery, remove the bishop from d6 and play something like bishop c7 followed by queen d6, and he did play bishop c7 on the board, and queen d6 is an annoying threat to deal with because there's this little problem called queen h2 checkmate idea. Yeah, and Sergey played knight e2. That's a developing move, and also with an idea to defend against queen d6 to play knight e2 f3, effectively ending the threat to play for black queen h2.
Yeah, so the knight is crawling to f3, and indeed it was not possible to capture on c6 twice. Doesn't matter how you slice it, it's queen d6 in the end, the double attack on the piece on c6, in this case the bishop, and the mate on h2. So knight d2, queen d6 first, and only after knight 2 to f3, black plays bishop to d7.
We can draw, I believe, first conclusions after the opening. I think Sergey got exactly what he wanted. He is perhaps slightly better by positional structure, and he can play this game forever.
Yeah, that's another important point. Do not give your opponent a chance to physically make a draw, to swap all the pieces, to simplify, do not go for the for symmetrical position. So that's more or less what Koryakin wanted. Bishop goes to e2, creating a threat of knight b5, so black perhaps will have to play a7, a6, and then white continues like he would in any kind of isolated pawn position with rook c1 and so on. Yeah, a6 played.
The only problem for the white setup is the inclusion of the h2, h3 pawn, because normally you would want the pawn to be on h2, because then you could play g3 and potentially close up the diagonal b8, h2 forever and focus your game on the isolated pawn. With the inclusion of the h3, that might be slightly problematic.
Right, so what Koryakin is going to do, because I believe, well, knight c2, that's, well, perhaps preparing, getting ready for bishop a3 to, to disturb this battery, right?
Or bishop takes on f6 with a threat to take the pawn on
yeah,
d5.
that was as well a possibility. Knight e4. Knight e4 played by Wesley saw, so that now bishop a3, queen has good squares on the 6th rank, like queen g6, queen h6. Honestly, knight c2 felt like a wrong move to me.
It looks, to be honest, artificial. Knight c2 now after knight g5, there's this idea that black is threatening to play knight f3, queen h2. Still the same checkmate idea. What is Sergey gonna do? Play knight c2 to e1?
So bishop d3 played, yes, and indeed there is a possibility for black to go knight g5, and yeah, this does look problematic for white.
Yeah, but okay, I mean, even though this looks great for black, all that matters is the I mean, also the time you spend for the particular position, because we are still playing a blitz game. This is not a classical game. This is not a rapid game.
Yeah, and referring to the previous game, let's remember Karyakin's position was as good as winning at some point, but perhaps being really low on time, he miscalculated something. Rook A to D8 was played. Wait a sec. Knight G5 was not. Yeah. So Rook A to D8 was played here.
And Knight G5 is on the board. Black is threatening to play Knight takes on F3, Queen H to checkmate.
Rook C1, but Rook C1 is too slow, it seems. Knight goes to G5, Knight E1.
Unless Black now starts to checkmate White, something like Knight takes to H3, G takes Bishop H3 by followed some kind of like tactical idea.
Takes, then bring the Rook to E6. But yeah, Wesley is not in the situation when he wants to do this.
Right.
So he comes up. Yeah, Knight E1, he comes up with D4 here.
Oh, that's a lovely positional choice. And the idea, I think, is E takes on D4. Can he play Rook takes on E1? Wow.
Rook takes E1. It's still not clear because Knight takes, Queen takes. And the King has got a square on F1 to run away. So that's not over yet.
So what is going on there? Is there a black actually checkmating White?
What did Karyakin do?
He took the pawn, if I can see correctly.
E4.
We do not have an exact glimpse on the board, so I cannot see.
ED4, Bishop takes H3. Wow.
This is some action. So
yeah, Bishop takes H3. Now, if you take, it's Knight takes, I assume, Knight F4, and yeah, let's keep in mind that the perpetual check is already enough for Wesley to qualify. So Bishop H3.
Well, Wesley so looks like in a great shape to take down this match because draw is just fine for him. He doesn't need to checkmate White. He just needs to repeat the position, make a draw. So Sergey Karyakin is desperately looking for ways to continue in this game and to avoid the draw because for him a draw is the same as the loss. So he tries Bishop A3.
Bishop A3. Wait a sec. Does Rook E1 work now? Rook E1, Bishop to D6, Rook D1, Bishop to C7, Knight F3. Well, it's really hard to do this a proper judgment, but a very nice move found by Wesley. So it's Queen A4 as the reply to Bishop A3. The Queen cannot be disturbed on F4. Keeps the diagonal. Not clear what Karyakin has to play, to be honest.
Yeah, because G takes on H3 is always met by Rook takes on E1 and White loses so much material. He plays G3.
G3.
That's desperation.
But wait,
I mean, you really
this
have
still
to
works.
do something.
This still works. Rook E1. Then he takes with the Knight. Yeah, that doesn't work. Rook E1 doesn't work because he takes with the Knight. Knight F3, Queen
probably
H6,
even now Black can play positional. Knight takes on F3 and something takes on F3. I don't know. Knight takes on F3 and retreat with the Queen. But okay, Wesley has decided to play Queen F6. Still the game is open. But what do you do about the exchange on F1? So something is going horribly wrong for Sergey.
There is also this Rook hanging on F1. Well, perhaps you just go D5, I mean, and yeah, that's what he does. D5, hoping for Black to take on D5 so that you can take with a check on H7, yeah?
So Sergey Karyakin is down on exchange already.
Takes. Yeah, well, he's sort of threatening to take on C6. The Knight cannot go because Rook takes C7.
And naturally, Wesley so simplifies the position.
Knight takes F3, Knight takes F3, and Knight E5, I believe, was played.
I believe this is game over.
Well, this looks pretty much like a game over because, yeah, Rook C7 played by Sergey Karyakin, Knight takes F3, Bishop E2, and, well, feeling is that this should be it. I mean, that there should be some way for Black to finish this game.
Yeah, so just Wesley keeps it simple, plays back with the
Back
Knight.
to E5.
Yeah, he is not obliged to win something immediately, but I mean the game is still proceeding, and Sergey Karyakin is desperately looking for ways to try to complicate matters. He would love to get rid of the Knight from E5, play Bishop C4, and
Queen F5. Well, also hitting the H3 square. Queen to D5.
But perhaps Wesley has played it too conservatively. I mean, he was trying to keep it simple, trying to not to make things more difficult than they should be. He's still up on exchange, but somehow I think Sergey Karyakin has managed to find some practical chances.
Well, that happens to be too slow, yeah. And after King G2, all of a sudden I start to believe that at least White is no longer desperately lost. Right, okay, I mean, it's still the game, and I believe Black is better, but you know,
he definitely was dead losing before that.
Yeah,
he felt like that.
It felt like the game should have ended in a couple of moves, yeah? Queen to E6. So he wants to trade the queens. Karyakin avoids the queen's exchange by capturing the pawn on B7, yeah? Well, he doesn't have all that much of a choice. He has to keep...
I mean, Wesley must be in total disbelief. This game should have been over a few moves ago. What is going on? Why I'm still in this game?
But I think his problem is that he's trying to make a draw. Well, he was winning like in a couple of moves.
Well, this is what I'm saying. He was trying to play too conservative. I mean, at the time when he needed to make the decisive strike, and he had this moment, he had this opportunity. It felt like you just need one
Knight G6. Well, but he's crawling backward with nearly all of his pieces.
What is Bishop C4?
Bishop C4, I assume it's Knight F4 and some weird perpetual
Unbelievable.
That's what he wants to do. But Knight F4, King F3.
Knight F4,
okay, go King F3. King F3, right. And then no checks all of a sudden.
Queen H3, and what is going on there? I mean, is there something for Black?
Queen H3.
It look like there is.
Queen H3. Well, there is a check from G2 potentially. So what do we do with White? Do we take on F7 with the bishop?
So how much time do they have?
This I don't know.
We do not have exactly a glimpse on the screen, but wow, yet another turnaround in this game. Sergey Karyakin seems he's dead lost, and now he's completely winning, at least by the looks of it. I just do
Bishop
not believe
F7,
this
Bishop
position.
E8?
Yeah,
right.
You can just
well,
take the
I
rook.
don't know. There might be still some perpetual... Rook takes F7. Wow. Making it even more complex. Queen H5 check. So, let's find out. Can he take on F4?
G5,
I mean, he has to do it. Now, G4, Queen H3. Now he takes on F4. Queen H2 check.
Is this a perpetual?
King F5, King G6?
Unbelievable.
This is a perpetual, but what's the... King F5 would be met with check and mate, and this battery bishop on C4, rook on F7 fails to work.
Such a heartbreaking game for Sergey Karyakin and a narrow escape for Wesley, so unbelievable.
And honestly, I still cannot believe that there was nothing better than what Sergey went for.
I'm sure it was completely winning
so
for
King
White.
takes F4, what would have happened in this case? You go G5, and then you go